Yep.
We have an intro.
Intro.
Intro. I thought most podcasts and stuff have intros.
We do the intro in editing.
Oh, okay.
All right, here we back again. Do you want to be in business or do you want to make money?
Sure.
Now, today, I want to talk about something that has to do with business that new entrepreneurs may not see or understand. Not even new, just people in general who get into business or wanna. I don't like saying business personally, but I'm gonna use business as a reference point because everybody uses business. I always, you know me, I always say you're in business, I own my work. Because, you know, it's work. I just, you know, I take the work aspect of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when we talk in the business aspect of it, I know you more in tune with the title of it and the way it's perceived and people receive it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like more just the work. Like, hey, give me my list of things to do. I go do them. You know what I mean? I like the work aspect of it. So here's a part of the thing that people, which includes both, right? So when I say I like to go do the work aspect of it, and you more like the, you know, the
I'm waiting on you to put this together.
the prestige of it, or the what do they say? How do they say? They say the ceremony of it, right? The how it's perceived and how people engage. How when it's engaged from the public, you know, you have to have the interface that brings your business to the public, and then you have behind it the work, right? What people do, you know, if you're in the logistics field, behind the face that does the contracts and connects that together, you have the workers, the vehicles, you know what I'm saying? That's on the back end, right? And on the back end of it is where everything happens. But that's the part that people don't seem to, because we always see the front end, right? We always see the part that connects to the consumer public, right? Mm-hmm. But when you decide that you're going to do a business or you're going to do a service, then the back end really becomes the primary function of everything, right? And that needs to be seen in a certain capacity. Mm-hmm. And I say that to say, like, so when I wake up in the morning and I'm going to the job, right? Mm-hmm. I'm in my truck, I'm going to the job. And I pull up on this little diner and I see the guy, you know, it's 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I see the guy, he back there, he got the big jug of whatever it is, he pouring it in the machine, right? Now somebody at some point is gonna come, this gonna be their first cup of coffee of the day, first orange juice, blah, 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 right? I'm driving by, I'm seeing them, and that starts the business.
Okay, so what business is it? Like what is he pouring? Like
he pouring orange juice or whatever he's in a diner.
Okay.
So we saying that starts his business.
Yeah.
So now the next person may come and it may be a delivery driver, it may be anybody. Mm-hmm. They come to get their first cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna go to their job, their business, so on and so forth. I'm driving past him, I'm going to the station to start setting up the vehicles for the day. You understand? Like, this is the connections that starts everybody's for the day. So the fact that he's there starts, say if I was going to get a cup of coffee, let's just say I always stop here to get a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
That starts my day. I go to get the vehicles so our drivers can get their deliveries. So then they're gonna go, right, and drop off whatever they're dropping off. And so somebody's gonna get that box, and when they get that box, that might be paper. We don't know. It starts their day. You see what I'm saying? So now when you start that business or service, you become an integral part of the daily functions of the community at large, everything around you.
Yeah.
So when you understand that from an aspect of saying, well, I got a business, I don't got to go to work today. I can stay in the bed all day. I can do this, I can do that. Well, in reality, you're more connected to the things that go on than you understand, because once you get out there, now you're a part of the system at large, right?
Yeah.
You saying, I'm gonna start a business because I don't want to work. Oh no. Au contraire, mon frere.
Yeah.
Now you are a part of the system. Now you have a bigger role in more things and more people's lives than you even anticipate, right? So when we say that, I got to ask you, how do you see it from when you first started, when we first started doing stuff to now? Like, maybe, let's say before you was owning your own, you was a manager somewhere. You was a this somewhere, right? Now you own your own and you see how it actually connects to everything around you. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So from the beginning to where you are now, how do you see that change? Just how do you see it?
I didn't see it at first. I don't think no individual who starts a business sees it or understands it.
Right.
Once you start, your main focus will be, okay, me. I need to get what I'm doing up and running and functioning properly with my procedures and process and procedures and things like that. So you don't really see the outside people, or you don't see how you are having an effect on other consumers or other business to business. You don't see that. Once you learn what you need to make your business successful, then you see, okay, all right, well, if I don't do this day, I may affect this business. Right. If I don't do this day, I may affect this person who's going to work. You see what I'm saying? Like you will have a negative or positive impact on an individual or a business. It just depends on what business you're in. Like what are you doing? Right. For us, we deliver a lot of stuff, different type of stuff, from medicines to, somebody toys or just outdoor, just a lot of different stuff. And you never know what somebody has going on. Somebody could be waiting on their medication to come or whatnot. If you don't get it done, you're going to affect that person's health. Somebody may be doing a DIY project around their home and they're waiting on a certain tool or a certain specific material. If you don't get that delivered, then you've thrown that person's potentially thrown their schedule behind, or they haven't to go to get something that hey, this should have been here yesterday. Like even with us working with the company that we partner with, no, we can't say that name. If they don't give us the stuff or our items and sorted correctly, it affects us. That is a business to business. We are their customers. Even we're contracting with them, but we're their customer. If they don't do what they're supposed to do, then it affects us, which trickles down to affects have negative impacts on our customers. Right.
So like you're saying, so we come there because the person may just be a manager or just be like, I'm just doing whatever. well, if you don't get it today, you'll get it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can have all your stuff together. You got your vans on time, you schedule, you got all this correctly. But then when you get to your service area, their excuse becomes your excuse.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're gonna have to bring it tomorrow. But my driver is here, my vehicle is here, but my parcel is not. Because not of no fault of my own, but a fault of my partner, my service partner.
And I throw them under the bus. I ain't even front. I tell the customer, look, I was there to get your stuff, and so and so didn't get it to me. They said you'll get it tomorrow.
Right.
Now, if it's us, if we run into the problem, like, cause I like going out in the trucks and doing stuff to interact with our customers or whatnot, and if it's a fault on our end, I'll let them know. Look, we couldn't find your address yesterday, or we had an issue. Just communicating with them, but to let them know like what the issue was, because all they know is, oh, you ain't delivered, it's your fault.
Right.
No, you don't got to put all that on me. I am a big believer in, if we mess up, we own it.
Right.
If they mess up, I'm telling.
You can't do that. You're supposed to shield them people.
Shield them from what? No, ma'am. No, sir.
From
No.
the situation.
No.
Right?
I'm being honest with my customers. Our partner is short-staffed, and they couldn't give us.
You can't do that.
Why I can't? Look, at the end of the day, it's business to business, and those are our customers. I have to be honest with my customer and let them know what is going on, because people don't realize, like, if you inconvenience someone, depending on what the situation is, if you over communicate with them, they'll understand.
Right.
I know when it comes to me as being a consumer, I can be difficult, but if it's communicated on what's going on and you over communicate with me, then it's perfect. Then I'm more understanding. You see what?
Right.
But if you give me short answers, then I'll be pissed. Then I'm gonna keep going on and on. No, I want a reason. Will the reason affect me not getting what? No, but I still like, and you'll see that. Oh, this person really cares about what they're doing, which means I know in the future, if a situation arises, I'll know what's going on. If you communicate with me, then if something happened in the future, you can reach out and hey, this blah blah blah, this is what's happening, and I'm like, oh, okay, all right, fine, that's understandable. Then I can make the necessary adjustments on my end.
Now, when you say that, right? Because that's what we're talking about. So I never own a business. I'm thinking I can do what I want to do because it's my business. Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? I don't feel like doing it today. Oh yeah, well, hit you, tell you something, right? Give you some excuse. But okay. Yeah, you're in business, but that business is not going to continue because now what you're doing is more important than your excuse, right? Because we think, and I thought it, right? Everybody think, oh, when I own a business, I don't gotta answer to nobody. I don't gotta answer to nothing. Mm-hmm. Well, when you started doing business, now you answer to the consumer at large. You answer to the public because that is your boss. You don't have a boss, nobody telling you what to do. That's why you're in business, because you're the person that says, you know what, we need to make sure the truck's on the road, we need to make sure the brakes, we need to make sure this. Whatever is concerning the business, that's what you do to make sure that the things that you need to do happen. Right? So then sometimes once we get started, and here's the thing that, we can talk about this right now. When I have my business and I'm thinking I can do what I want to do, is at that point, am I overstating my ability or am I overvaluing my ability? Because I'm saying, I'm a barber. I pull up, I cut hair. I could tell you, you know what, man, I can't make it today. But I'm telling you, I'm selling the best haircuts in the community. So I'm going to believe that if I give you an excuse, you still need my service. That's what I want to believe. But even if that's the case, like you saying, you under communicating, or you not giving me the respect because I got something to do. You saying, well, I'll just do it tomorrow, or I'll just do it another day. Now, even though I'm giving out the best haircuts, what you gonna say? I'll go somewhere else.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Well, you know what? Every time I try to come by here, you ain't. Where you at?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I own my own business. I can do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Right? That's a logic that you can take on, right? So you personally, you used to go, I don't know if you still do, but you used to go get your nails done all the time. And that person would always have some scenario of something. And what did you have to eventually do? Now, the person still has their own business, and probably to this day, you probably can call them and say, hey, can you do it? And they probably can fit you in or something. But to even be on that type of system, you would have to be out of pocket, right? Because you are being held to just your ability and not your consistency. You see what I'm saying? Your consistency gives you more freedom than your ability, because now you overstating or overvaluing what you do. Because there could be 1 million barbershops. There could be 1 million people making deliveries. How many different companies is in the station? You see what I'm saying? And yeah, you may be good, but if we just need the service, I can go somewhere else, right? So do you think that plays into people and their business when they first start, is overstating their particular identity, their particular ability?
Yeah, it does. But like I said, when you first start, if you don't have that, I'm not gonna say a mentor, because everybody doesn't do things the same, and you should get somebody who can give you a baseline. But it's not something you should just, all right, I'm gonna just walk this in a straight line or whatever they told me.
Right.
You have to learn it. So when it comes to when you first starting, you need to build consistency first.
Right.
Because depending on what you're doing, you can get to a point to where, okay, I have employees or teammates, or I got somebody who can pick up where I may be lacking at. You see what I'm saying? But you have to make sure you set yourself up for that. That has to be done. That has to be set up and done first.
Right.
Do people be like, oh, I ain't going in today, or I know I do this good, so I ain't gonna dare come tomorrow? I've been to a beauty salon in another state. Girl does, thanks a girl. The woman does great styles. She does great hair. Styles be on point, sleek, slap to the side, whatever. All that. On fleek, yeah. It be dope. And it's hard to get a appointment with her. Schedule my appointment a month in advance. And I guess she overestimate. Well, I don't think she does. She know I do. They gonna wait.
Right.
I ain't waiting.
Now, that's what I'm saying. That in business.
Yeah, that don't go in.
That in business.
Because at the end of the day, at the time that happened, I was working for a company, working. I didn't own it. I was working, so I had a set schedule.
Right.
If I schedule an appointment with you and I pay a deposit or whatever, when I get there, I'll give 5-10 minute leeway. Okay, you might have somebody else you finishing up, but there's no way in hell. I sat there for an hour waiting on this lady to get to me.
Right.
And as I'm looking, I'm working at the same time. So I had my laptop with me, sitting on my lap. So I'm doing work on my laptop. So I'm like, okay, I can get a couple things done while I'm sitting here. And I ended up sitting an hour because I was working, basically. But
was oblivious.
Yeah, but I'm watching her. She's doing somebody else, and then I look. I'm like, where she went to? She got 2 people in the dryer, somebody in the check, and so it's like a back and forth. And I am big on, once I start something, I need to finish it. So you know, I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, well, let me just finish doing this right here, blah, blah, blah. It took me a little longer than I thought it was going to take me. So I got done, and I look up and it was an hour.
There it is.
And you know how people just look around like, oh yeah, I'm going to finish this. So I guess she was talking to herself. I was talking to myself too. I just packed my stuff up and left.
Right. Now, with that being said, that doesn't diminish her ability to give a great product.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Right. But that does affect her ability to conduct good business.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So now you may end up going to somebody else who may not do as good as she does, but you get it on a timely fashion. You get it in a way that, hey, well, I can go in here and just get my hair done and be out because I got other things to do.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And that's one thing that irritates me is because I am big on, if I want a service, I am going to pay. I don't care what your price is. Some people are like, oh, I ain't paying it. That's too much.
Right.
If you have a good service or product, I'm not going to tell you to change your price to me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm going to ask, what is your price?
Right.
You need to tell me how much you charge.
Right.
I'm going to pay that.
Now, because people know that people think like that. So now they're going to build their business model on, well, I got the best. It don't matter. Somebody going to pay it. That is true. Right? But at that point, because you refuse to improve your service, you're not making the money that you can make.
Yeah, because I'm a lead.
Right.
And there's plenty of people like me.
Right.
I'm a lead.
Right.
And because at the end of the day, how I see it is, if you're providing a service, you don't know what I have going on. You don't know what I have going on that day.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
If I'm a person, and I know there's people just like me who stick to a schedule.
Right.
Okay, I know if I go here, it's gonna take 2 hours. If I go here, it's gonna take an hour.
Right.
And you put a buffer in there. If I got you allotted for 2.5 hours,
I need that.
you need to be done in 2.5 hours.
I need that.
I'm giving you a buffer. If I've paid you a deposit and I'm on my, okay, I understand, because people are like, oh, life happens, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Okay, but life happens. You know it's happening.
Right.
If you know you have a situation where, oh my goodness, I'm not gonna be able to get my last, 2 to 3 clients.
Right.
You know that.
Right.
If them people supposed to be to you at 3 o'clock, at 11 a.m., you're not gonna be able to make those appointments. At that point in time, you need to reach out to these people and be like, look, all right, I can't get you right now, or I'm not gonna be able to get you today. Can we reschedule? This is what I have going on. But a lot of people will be like, well, oh, I had my other clients and services, so I couldn't get you the last minute. No, that's not how that works. If I paid a deposit and I got it set, you should communicate. It doesn't take that long to be like, look, apologize. I'm so sorry. I can't get to you today. You don't have to tell me your situation, but just communicate. Like, look, I'm sorry. Let me reschedule you. Can I reschedule you this day, or what works for your scheduling? And I will make the necessary adjustments.
Now, that's how we separate ability and service.
Yeah.
Right? And so a lot of people get into business for the what they're doing with their ability. But they don't merge it, or they don't know how to integrate it with service.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because if you're not in business, or you're not in providing the service, as a consumer, we think the product, we think the thing. Well, I'm just going to get my hair cut. I'm just going to go get these sneakers. I'm just going to go get this. So we thinking in that way. So we take that into business and say, well, I got the sneakers. You need to do what you need to do to get the sneakers. That's not business.
No.
I got the place. I make the place. I got that. And you want this. So we overstate what we think the consumer wants. Because, like you're saying, there's a lot of people going to come and want the product or service because they're not shy, or they're not, they don't feel no way towards paying for it, like you, right? You don't feel no way towards paying for it. But you have other people that don't feel no way towards paying for it, but they don't have no standard on their consumption. Meaning, There'll be somebody I'll wait all day. That person may come once in a while. But a person who is got a standard is gonna pay whatever you want them to pay, but they got a schedule. So the people who will be like, well, I'll come on, I don't care, I'll wait all day, that's not steady in the same sentence as somebody on, because that person may be a business owner, or may be a manager, or maybe this is a higher level of clientele, right? Now you're saying, well, guess what? They gonna pay, true indeed, but they're not gonna pay on the consistency as this person, right? So if you saying you'll come and you'll pay, right? That means you'll come every 2 weeks. That person that's willing to stay all day, more than likely is gonna come at an event or during a holiday or something, like sporadically. Okay, so you can get the money, but I can schedule my money on you. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference between overstating your ability and service.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So, you know, when we get into business, we think the thing that we're providing, the service, whatever, man, I do the best detailing in town, or I got the best lawn service in town. But if I'm overstating my ability, overbooking, not coming up with processes and procedures that will allow me to give you my service, that will allow me to facilitate my ability to you, then I'm gonna always be in a bunch or in a situation where I'm gonna make the money, but it's not gonna be consistent. You see what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be ideally, I'm not gonna be payroll.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Your logic, I'll come and pay, but I got a schedule. That's payroll. Because I know you want your grass cut every 2 weeks. You want this. I can schedule my money around 85% are gonna be this. Those people who will show up and be like, oh well, if this person ain't, or that person ain't, or this, I'll pay extra. That's gonna be very few and far in between.
Yeah.
But you just walked out with my consistent $200, and I let you walk out because I got bad service, right? So when people overstate their ability and then negate their service, that's still not good business.
No.
You see what I'm saying? Because you want a product, and I'm telling you, I'm the person that can give you the product, but you can't never get it from me. Even though in the meantime I get them off because it's an in-demand product. But if I want to be in this business long term, I need to start seeing your need and feeling your need as opposed to whoever knocking on my door right now saying, "Hey man, I heard you got the new sneakers."
Yeah.
Right? But you knocking every 2 weeks, and then when you knock, I'm not here. Or you know what I'm saying? So I have to come up with processes and procedures. So as we say that, how important, even though we understand it, how important is coming up with good processes and procedures?
It's very important. Your business won't function long without them. Simple as that.
Simple as that. Ain't no more to it, huh?
Nothing else.
If you don't refine your process, because it's things that you're doing that you can, like, say, let's just say I'm out here, I'm cutting the grass. I can pull up, take my lawn, my mow off, get to doing it, right? I could do this at every house. But I can come up and say, okay, first I'm gonna do the weed eating. Then I take the mow down, then I start doing this. Then, or better yet, I'm just gonna think of it. I'm gonna do the weed eating and I'm gonna trim the bushes first. That way I done blocked off what I'm gonna do, and now all I gotta do is run the mow. Quick process, quick procedure. Some people come and they've been doing this every day and they still don't
have no
concept of doing that. You know what I'm saying? They'll be out there all day and be like, yeah, I'll be back next week, or I'll do this, or I'll do that. When you like,
Man, I ain't got time to wait around.
Right.
I got stuff to do.
I'll come back out. But you could have went, if that's the case, you could have came by every house where you got money going on and hit all of the weed in it. That way you done blocked it off. Mm-hmm. Now you can just come back and cut the lawns. Because you already know. You said no. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying when you, like you're saying, when you first start, you can't do that. Because you're trying to get your clientele together. But now that I know that you're willing to pay as opposed to somebody waving me down, hey man, you cutting grass? Hey.
And it's not only willing to pay, but you know what, if you set the standard and you can communicate, you be like, hey, look, I got 5 yards in this, I got you, your neighbor, this person, this person. All right, this is my process. I'm gonna weed eat y'all stuff first, and then I'm gonna be back and I'm gonna cut the more. So it'll all be done within 2 to 3 hour block. I'm like, okay, fine,
right.
But if I come outside and I see Lee, I'm like, well, where he went? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm gonna come get you he just left with all this stuff he didn't even finish.
Right. What's going on?
Yeah.
Right. Now, do you do a good job? That's not in question. You do a good job, but the question is, what's your processes and procedures that's ensuring that your good job, your ability is going to be translated correctly?
And and that also comes with people think, oh, well, I'm doing here or I'm doing this, but you still need to have the process and procedures. Like even when it comes, I don't know how to do hair. I mean, I know. I'm not a braider, but sometimes when I get my hair done, I be like, all right, like they start in the back. They section this section off, they section that section off, they do this one, they do this first, they braid a little, then they braid down. You see what I'm saying? And they literally have a process of how they get it done. If I get my hair done in as I say, I'm a stickler for time. I ain't got no patience. So I go to...
Let me stop you right here. So when you getting it done and they start parting, if it don't feel like that process, you start feeling like this person.
You know how many times I got to walk out of the way?
They don't know what they're doing. Just off the process that they start. It may not be the same, but you know a process.
I know I ain't going to be here all day.
Right.
And I can tell when they start my hair like, man, look here. You said this was going to take this long. And I start asking questions. I don't want to be one of those people, but I'll ask like, okay. On your website, you said this is gonna take 4 hours. This leading into maybe 6, 7. I need to know because I gotta make the necessary adjustments.
This is done several times, and anytime somebody do it in 4 hours, it don't start like this.
Yeah, it don't start like that.
It don't start
and,
like this.
And that goes for any.
That goes with anything.
Yeah, anything. Yeah. You should just set up process and procedures. If you don't have to say, okay, it got to be perfect. Just jot them down. It is going to be trial and error. You can say, okay, on this day I did this. All right, this didn't work. I'm going to go back to the drawing board. Then the next day you're like, well, I'm going to start do this first instead. I did that yesterday. I'm going to do it. And, just tweak it until you got it down perfect. Once you get that down, and if you're dealing with, consumers on whatever service you're providing, and you communicate with your consumers, it'll grow. And especially, okay, like for me, like I'm the type of person, I got a schedule. I try to stick to it on what we got going on. And I know we be butting heads on that all the time. When you work with somebody, it happens. We do butt heads because I'm like, okay, let's do this, this, and this. Or, and I'll be done tell you, and then you come back 50 times. I say, what we supposed to be doing? Any married person.
Be that as it may. But what's the first thing I always ask you? What we got to do today?
He'll ask me the night before. What we got to do tomorrow. And we'll explain it. I'll explain it. All right, this is what we got to do, blah, blah, blah. And then he'll come back the next morning. What we got to do today? Bro, I just told you this last. But
we try to keep a process and I'm asking you because I want, because I
the process is, I got to tell him 50 times on what we do.
That's not that. The process is, I'm trying to make sure, I know we have a process. So I need to make sure that I'm abreast of the process, right? Because I know it's something we got to be doing. I may not remember, but I know it's because we do processes and procedures. So I know it's something that needs to be done. I can't just be sitting here. It's got to be something that I need to be doing or we need to be doing. But that's come from understanding the organization of a workflow, right?
Yeah.
How do you get things accomplished is setting up your workflow. What is the dynamic of your workday? If you don't have that, if you don't have a dynamic for your workflow, then you're overstating your ability.
Yeah, like for me. So you get up in the morning before me, you leave, to get everything running. But we know there's a process with us. Okay,
Right.
I get up, do what I need to do, then I come home, I get on my laptop, I come back to the house, I get on my laptop, and and I try to, I'm one of those people. I know I can't be on one. When I lay down at night, I go over in my head, I go over what happened the day. Then I say, okay, what do I need to do tomorrow? Okay, I know I gotta do payroll, I need to do scheduling, I need to do this. And I'm like, okay. And then once I get up and start my day, then I set a schedule for myself. Okay, I know I have to get this done today. And I set out a block of time. Okay, I know this is it's gotten to a point where I know this is gonna take me 20 minutes to do. I know it's gonna take 30 minutes.
Right.
So. And I try to schedule. And, even when it comes to stuff I want to get done, facials.
Real quick. But that's the part that you look for before you have a business, but that's the part you look for once you start the business. What things can I...
Yeah, but...
But you need those things to...
You need them, but most people don't understand that until they get up and running. Then it's like, okay, I need to... Okay, this is what's happening. This is what I need. Even when you're launching, you're like, okay, I got to get this done. You should have a list of stuff you need to get done. And just check it off your list one day at a time, and eventually you'll be done.
Right.
And that way you can actually start doing things and moving forward and get the ball rolling, and then you can make the set up the specific processes, procedures, so you'll know, okay, I need to do this by this time, by this time. I know I got clients coming in at this time.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It depends on what you're doing, but you have to set that up. If you don't have processes, procedures in place,
if you don't, you just overstating your ability. And if you overstating it or you're putting too much value on it, then people always say, you always say this to me. You always say,
I say a lot of things.
Yeah, you do. You always say I eat nasty food.
Yes,
I don't. It's not because I do. It's because more times than none, why is that nasty place in business? Most of them nasty places.
People like you.
But a lot of them places that you claim to be so nasty got good processes and procedures. They gonna get that slop to you. They gonna get it to you.
And people like you don't know how to say it.
But then the people that got the good food, you got the line out there, everybody on top of each other, complaining about, because this place is overstating what they're selling, right? Because everybody knows it's good. You know when you go to those pop-up shops or you go here and be like, oh man, those things is good, this is good, that's good. Everybody out there, no flow.
Yeah, they don't plan according
No flow. It's just, I got this. I got these cinnamon rolls. They crazy. Damn. Everybody want them. But if you don't put no workflow in, then I'm going to be like, well, I really do want a sticky bun. But guess what? I'm going to go to Boy and them in the mall.
Yeah.
Because I wanted your joint. But now I just want a sticky bun in general.
Yeah, like.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it don't matter if it's yours. I go to Circle K and grab one of them Jones, man. Right now, you done put me to the point to where it doesn't matter how good yours is. It doesn't, right? Because you done made it to where, at this point, I can't even get it if I gotta wait till the rest of the day, even if I do want it. You see what I'm saying? So now you done devalue that ability that you're saying you possess. Your workflow just made it.
You do all that. I'm gonna just be like, I don't want none.
Be that as it may, but that still ruins that person's business. Whether you want it or not, the idea is for us to get that product.
Yeah, but and the thing with those pop-up shops, I think a lot of them, not all of them, but you have those ones where it is overwhelming because so many people show up.
And but you can still have a work.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm getting to. They don't have a like with the sticky buns. They don't know. Okay, all right, so I can do 50 sticky buns in an hour. Mm-hmm. They should be setting it up like, okay, I need to pre-prep or whatnot. Okay, I got these already done. I made 500 sticky buns. Mm-hmm. All right, I got a line with so many people in it. Right. You should be able to look at that line and be like, all right, I need to go ahead and I've already pre-prepped. I need to take out 50 more. Right. Then let them come to room temperature and say, okay, I know it's going to take 10 minutes to come to room temperature. It's going to take 30 to 40 minutes to bake. Right. You see what I'm saying? Like somebody, it needs to be something in place to somebody be like, all right, we got 30 people in line. Right. How many we got on the thing? All right, this is how many we need to take out. But I don't think a lot of them do that. They just, all right, well, I got them made. Right. But then you got to realize, yeah, your first batch may be good, but if you don't take the second batch out of the refrigerator at a certain time and get it in the oven, then you're going to run into a problem when people is waiting.
That's business.
Yeah.
That's the dynamics of business.
Yeah.
When people say, well, I'm doing this, I'm going to be in business. Yes, your product, the thing that you have is valuable. People do want it. But now once you declare or proclaim that you're going to do this on a mass level for the community, or you're going to provide this service, now you have to organize it for you to get it to the consumer, right? Because just because you have it and it's great doesn't mean anything if you can't get it to who's coming to purchase it, right? Oh, well, you know, and here's the thing, your excuse is valid. It is valid. There is a lot of people. There is this, there is that. But now organizing that and creating a workflow is just as important as you having the product. It's just as important or maybe even more important, right? Because at the end of the day, I can go anywhere and get one of these.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you've brought the value of your ability down. You brought the value of your product down. You brought it down to a level to where even though it's better than the one in this wrapper, even though it's better than the one I got that's right next to the register at the convenience store, at this point, to me it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at this point. I can't get it anyway. You understand what I'm saying? You brought it down to a point to where it and that's from bad business. That's from bad service. Because you're not putting what you do and business together.
I've done it plenty of times where I just like, man, I don't even want it no more.
Right.
Or never mind. That's when you were like, oh, we can go. Nah. No, we can go ahead. Nah, I'm all right. Never mind, I don't even want it anymore.
And that comes from bad business or bad workflow or, you know, poor processes and procedures.
I wouldn't say bad business. It's just no process and procedures. Bad workflow.
Right.
They don't have it set up. And like I said, most people don't know that when they're starting, because the internets make it seem so simple.
Show you the highlights.
And it's not that simple. Like, yeah, you see us making the sales, but you ain't see the people in the back, you know, setting up that timer of, okay, this I need to do this at this time to keep the work flowing, to keep everything moving smoothly. Like, you know, and it's, like I said, it depends on your business. And if you're going in business by yourself, try to find you somebody who you can, you know, bounce ideas off of and be like, what do you think about this? I'll say it again, do not get a yes person. Because if you get a yes person, they're not going to tell you their honest opinions on, okay, well, maybe you should try this, or maybe you should do that. Nah, that ain't going to work. And it's going to make it harder for you to set up process procedures, because you have to constantly keep making unnecessary changes because you don't have nobody to bounce the ideas off of. And, you know, sometimes you just don't have nobody like that in your life. I would say look for somebody. Don't look at that stuff on the internet. Find somebody.
Well, something like you're saying right there is this. Now you've got your processes and procedures. That makes it possible for it's streamlined enough that when something happens, if it's out of the way, you can remove that process and put another one in and continue to go. If this is not working, that's not working. But if you don't do that, you can't know. You just thinking, well, I'm doing my thing, but it's not working. I'm doing everything. Well, people like my chicken wings. People like my sticky bun. People like my haircuts. People like them. Why? Because, well, the stuff that connects it that's where you messing up at. The stuff that connects everything, the stuff that gets your product to me, as another thing that people say, supply chain issue. Well, that's an immediate supply chain issue, right? Even though I'm standing on the other side of the counter, the oven is over there. I can see the oven. I can see you put them in the oven. Now, all the people and things in between become the supply chain, right? So now you can't get it out of there to get it to the person who put the icing on it, to get it to the person who, you know what I'm saying? And now you got a bottleneck somewhere. Even though I can see the oven, it's a bottleneck somewhere in there. You see what I'm saying? And because you went straight from your ability to make the thing and people wanting the thing. Those are only two things you connected.
Yeah.
Right? Your product and the consumer. Those are only two things you connect. The consumer got the money, you got the product. But the chain is where your processes and procedures, that's where that stuff becomes important.
Very important.
And that's where having those things or creating those things make it the most valuable or one of the most valuable parts of doing business and understanding how business works. But to that avail, even when I start, I didn't see it that way. I didn't think that way. I thought, well, we're going to get in business and we're going to get money. That's it. Now, all the nuances of it starts popping up. How you going to do this? Well, how you going to do that? How you going to do this? How you going to do that? How you going to, we got trucks. How you going to get your oil changes? How you going to get your tires rotated? How you going to do this? How you going to do it? So now you got to pick a day. What's the most convenient day? But you can't know that until you know your schedule. You can't know that until you know how much you get on this day, how much you get on that day. Now, once I know Wednesday is my low day, now I got to know which service station is more likely to fit me in on a Wednesday as opposed to so all of that is a part of your workflow. All of that is a part of which days do this matter, which days do that matter. Now you're creating that consistency. So now when you bring it back to your consumer, they can say, I can count on this person. I can count on this service. I can count on this product. You understand?
I understand that you're supposed to be talking to the audience.
I'm looking for you to...
You saying it. I mean, I don't know what else needs to be said.
Yeah, so... so that was funny. But, so when you start connecting these things, right, and we seeing it, it's like, until you in the field doing it and you doing this on a consistent basis, now you done this, right? So now that we saying that, just now you said, now we're gonna say something like this. Now you're doing this, right? Now all of the stuff that people seeing, the highlights on Instagram, the highlights on Facebook, now you can access those highlights, right? Because now your ship is floating. Now you can be like, well, I ain't coming in today, right? But from the beginning of your business to that day is processes and procedures, right? Now we know what we want. We want the good times. We want what we want. You know what I'm saying? We want all of that, right? But you know what your product is, and you know the consumer is willing to buy it. Now you got the supply chain You got to correct that and create a consistency that will allow the money to flow from the consumer to you on a consistent basis. Mm-hmm. Now, once you do that, now you can get to all of the fly stuff. But it's the connection of that. That's the business. That is the business. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Because Monday, when I come knock on the door, hey man, I want my coffee. If you don't ever get it to where I can come in, how many places you go to and you done built your own pattern? Every Monday I go here and get coffee. Mm-hmm. Every Monday I go here and get coffee. Every Monday I go here and get coffee. That's building a consistency for that place, right? So our business that you create, we create, or anybody creates, they want to create that opportunity for them to be, I go here on Mondays. I go here on, you understand? You want to be that thing, whatever it is. Could it be, like I said, could it be getting your hair done? Could it be, getting your lawn mowed? Whatever it is, that's the thing you want your business to become for somebody, for your target audience, your consumers, right? Because you want them to be like, man, you know what? Man, I can go, man, every Friday I go to Jules, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, before I go on vacation, I go see Tasha, man. How many people say stuff like that? You want to be in that space because that's where your business is valuable. You are part of the community at large, right? But how do we do that with processes and procedures, right? Just like I say, when I wake up and I'm driving past that place, I look in that window and I see that man pouring the orange juice in that thing. Somebody's coming to get that cup of orange juice. That lady in there stirring them grits. Somebody's coming. Every morning, how many people say this? It's simple, we say it, right? It's so simple that we know it, we say it. People say, man, every morning, boy, I go down to Lou's Diner, man, and get the All-Star joint, man. It's cracking.
Yeah.
But Lou had to create the opportunity for you to be there every Monday, every morning. Every morning, man, I go get 2 hash browns and a coffee. Every morning I do this. Every morning I do this. You see what I'm saying? And so that's where the business is. And it's hard for people, they first time or getting involved in this to create that consistency because you coming from working, you saying, well, I don't want to get up every day at 5 o'clock. That's why you want to start your own business because that's what everybody say. You tired of the grind? You tired of the 9 to 5? You tired of not living life on your own terms? Oh no. Oh no. You get into business, you're going to be on 9 to 5 even more. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be in the grind even more because instead of you escaping the system, you've become an integral part of the system. Whatever product or service you're selling, somebody is going to be dependent on that. Now, you don't have to do it because you're your own boss. And nobody's the boss of me, right? Yeah, well, whoever's buying that product is. Yeah. And they come in and they asking for it, and either you got it or you don't. Either you provide it or you not. Yeah. Listen, I get it. You got 5 people in the chair. Hey, I get it. You got 4 other lawns to cut. I get it. It's 10 cars out there. I get it. My car was here at 1 o'clock, bro. That's when I scheduled my appointment. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? I came for my shoes. I ordered my sneakers a week ago. I get it. You say you make sneakers. You say you make jeans. You say you make cake. You say you make A1 banana pudding. That's what you say.
You talk about food a lot.
Cause that's something that people go crazy over food, man. People go crazy over that whip. You know what I'm saying? So we know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I want that thing and you're telling me you provide it, then you have to create that standard, and you create that standard through processes and procedures.
Mm-hmm.
You create that standard. What happens on the back end, right? And what happens on the back end? Getting up 5 o'clock in the morning, getting up 4 o'clock in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I understand those are things we're trying to get away from, but that's what I'm saying. That's why we're saying this. Do you want to be in business, or do you want more money?
Mm-hmm.
Because not every business, right? Yeah, but 85% of them plug into the system.
Mm-hmm.
Now there are one-offs that, you know, you can type up on the computer, and you know, somebody can, you know, I guess, you know, let the computer do it, or Amazon, you know, and that's your business.
Mm-hmm.
True. What they call it? Passive income. True. Yeah, you can have that. But 85% of that business, 85% of some business, or 85% of businesses stick to that schedule. Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, 85% of what you finna get into. Even the passive. Somebody is putting them products in them bags.
Mm-hmm.
Those people have to be there. Those people are in the 85%.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that you're interfacing, maybe you got a Amazon store, and you just wake up, turn over, oh yeah, it's making, what them memes say? Oh, you ain't making money until you making it in your sleep. Man, it's easy to say all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It is. But here's the thing. Somebody somewhere is putting the shoe in the box.
Yeah.
And they have to be there at 5 o'clock. Somebody got to create the workflow for them.
Yeah.
You may roll over and swipe left, and you own the business and you live in those highlights. True indeed. But somebody is getting up, driving to the station, and putting your shoes in the box. More than likely, if I'm getting into business, I'm going to be somewhere in that supply chain area.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so when people start talking about business, or they start talking about they're going to get in business, they need to understand that dynamic. Where are you in that? We talking small, right? Maybe, and that's on, and we maybe could do that on another episode. We had the same conversation. Yeah, you started a business. Now you got to identify where are you in the supply chain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What do you provide? Where are you in all of this, right? Because even as I just gave the analogy of saying I drive by that dude and he pouring that orange juice in there, where that orange juice come from? Somebody squeezed them oranges. Somebody had to pick them oranges.
Yeah.
And they had to have a workflow. They had to have processes and procedures for him to be pouring it in that jug. Somebody got to pick them coffee beans. Somebody got to package it. Somebody got to put it on the boat. Somebody got to come up with, you know, how many just like when, like you said, when you used to do whatever, put it on pallets. How many pallets? How does the pallets get on the truck? That's another workflow. You understand? So if you're gonna stop, or if you're gonna leave your job, like we always say, if you're gonna leave your job and you're gonna go, this is something you need to know. Whatever you're doing at your job, you need to look at that and see how are you gonna take that with you?
Yeah.
How does that fit your business model? Because whether you work here or not, work happens this way. This is how it happens. How are you going to transcribe that into your business? You see what I'm saying? How am I going to make sure that you get your hair done when you walk through that door? How am I going to make sure I get you to that check? You see what I'm saying? And right now, the job you at or the place you working at is giving you the blueprint. You know, the workflow, the consistency, the processes and procedures. You have them. Why do you got to be to work at 5 o'clock? somebody got to open the door.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why do you got to clock in at this time? Because somebody got to start the machine. How come I got to be back at lunch? Oh, I'm 2 minutes over. Well, then that machine may not have been working for 2 minutes. And if that's 2 minutes every day for X amount of time, that becomes hours that the machine is down. Mm-hmm. We don't see it. You see what I'm saying? But that affects the business and the ability for us to get products and services to the consumer. You can't do this.
I was letting you finish.
You ain't got no passionate, cut me off spill.
No, I mean, you were going on and on. Let you get whatever you needed to say out. I mean, it makes sense. But like I said, if you don't have your process and procedures, you have no business.
You ain't going bottom line. You're not. You're going to have your ability, but how do you get that ability to me?
You need the process and procedures.
You know, and that's parts of business that don't come up on Facebooks.
Of course not.
They don't come up on Instagrams. What come up on Instagrams?
Money and trips.
There it is.
Spending money on stuff.
And that's business, right? I own my own business. Now I'm in Ibiza. Nah, man.
I made so many thousands of dollars. Okay.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Right.
But tell people how you got there.
How you got there?
What are your process and procedures? If you want, you should come into business with me. Explain it then.
What are we about to do? What are we about?
Oh, you can own your own business and this, that, and the third. Okay.
What's the thing say? Dun, dun, dun.
Exactly. You need to be real with people. I mean, of course you want to sell people a dream, stuff like that, and that's fine. But you also to give them the nightmare part of it.
Right.
Or whatnot. So
like you said, I wanted my own business. And until you wake up 5 o'clock every day. Mm-hmm. And then you can't be like, oh, well, I don't want to be in business. No, this is what it is.
When you go into business, you know, like you say, you're no longer a 9 to 5 person. Right. You're a midnight to midnight.
You really them.
You really have to work.
Right.
Then you really working.
And
because
then, go ahead.
Because normally when you work for somebody or you punch in and out, once you punch out, that's it. You done. You ain't got to worry about nothing. But if you own that business, it's so much more in details that you have to focus on. You can't just say, all right, well, everybody going out to dinner now, I'm going too. No, you sometimes have to stop and review everybody's work. Right. You got to plan for the next couple of days. It ain't no, oh, you coming out with us? Man, no, I'll catch y'all next time. Right. Or whatnot. But, they don't tell you that. It's, oh, everybody leave, you leave too. No. If you are not in a position of where you have somebody, okay, so if you get in that position to where when it's time to punch out, you leave with everybody, yeah. But I guarantee you there's somebody staying back doing the things that you used to do. Right. Or the things you should be doing.
It don't go nowhere.
Somebody has to do it.
It still has to be done. Somebody
starts to do the reviewing and in the planning accordingly for the next couple of days. So it's not, I own the business, so it's running smoothly. No. You're paying somebody to do it. Right. If you're not paying somebody to do it, your business is failing.
It's about to. It's about to stop. It's about to stop turning.
And you about to be, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, you know what happened.
You know.
You know what happened. You know what happened.
So, yeah. Processes and procedures.
Processes and procedures.
If you don't have it, your business will not be successful. I ain't say you can make no money. You can make money.
You can make money. Somebody gonna come for what you got.
But it's gonna be, you'll be pulling your hair. Oh, I gotta get a second job. Right. Oh, this business thing ain't working. Right. And the simple question somebody asks is, what are your processes and procedures?
Right. What are you routinely doing? Mm-hmm. What can you replicate? What can you do? What part of this can you do every day? What part of this do you do? So what time do you open? I open at 5. I can know. I can say, well, what do you do at 10 o'clock? Whatever. Man, this thing here about to shut down. I can start walking around here and start looking at what I can get for the low. Hey man, you know what, man? You want to get one of these? You want to get one of these mixers off, man? Because at some point, this whole place gonna go down. So I need to go ahead and start bargain shopping.
Yeah.
You understand? Because this right here is okay. Yeah. So how do you cut this grass? I do whatever. Hey man, how you like this weed eater right here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and get this up off of you, man.
Because you have some people like, oh yeah, my schedule is set. I only work from 12 to 5, work a couple hours a day. Okay, that's fine. But tell everybody how you got there.
How did you get
Did
to
you
that
tell
point?
them you've been,
Right.
Staying opening early, closing late, doing all this other stuff to get to that point to where you can say, look, I ain't working over 5 hours a day.
Right.
I only need 2 clients a day.
Till you quantify it.
Yeah.
Right.
You need to be honest with people and tell them how you got to that point.
Right.
Don't just let people think, oh yeah, you can get out and you can just do this and you can be like me. Yeah, eventually.
Right.
How long you been doing this? 10 years. How the hell you gonna tell somebody
Right.
who's just starting
Right.
yesterday, yeah, you
Right.
can get like me? No, you need to tell them it took me 10 years to get here. If you put in the work, yes, you can get here too, to where you only got to do so many clients or meet with this, that, and the third. But don't do that. That should be like is that a Ponzi scheme? There should be some type of scheme. You should be charged with fraud.
Right.
Why you telling them people that? Tell them they have to work.
Right.
A lot of people, when somebody asks me, oh, how it is owning a business? Hard work. I let them know it's hard work.
Right.
Like people, how's it working with your partner? Hard.
Hard.
Like, we have developed processes and procedures, but every day is a new day. But those standards stay the same.
Right.
Nothing changes about that.
Right. Do these things, and then we build on, or we correct what doesn't serve us anymore. We remove it, and then we come up with something that fits that new dynamic for whatever it is. Right. With that being said,
Processes and procedures.
processes